Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. It looks like we are not selling in May and going away just yet, because it looks like there's still a lot of trade setups. The market is still trending, so there's still opportunities to trade. So we will be going through a few trade setups. Before we do that, just make note that we've got a separate cryptocurrency webinar. You can check it out on the YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about the coin that could make you a millionaire. We're going to look at a few scenarios, and then we're going to speak about this coin. There's a number of interesting coins other than Bitcoin in the crypto space that are looking very, very good in terms of returns compared to Bitcoin. We'll look at that shortly. All right, so if you'd like to contact us, check us just check out all our contact details under the description of all our videos. This is our channel, the Elliott Wave Principle. It's called Trading Wave, so you'll find all our videos. Under all our videos, you will find our contact details. If I just open one here, you will find also the link to our website. Follow us on TradingView as we are posting some ideas on TradingView. We're posting a lot of ideas as well on our Twitter and Facebook pages. The content on Twitter as well as on Facebook is exactly the same, so either one, whichever one you are comfortable with, you can look at that. So our Twitter feed, you'll find it right at the homepage of our website. You can just follow there on the homepage. This is our Twitter feed, so all the updates regarding our services, regarding all the charts that we're doing, you'll find it on our social media pages. All right, so let's get started. Let's go straight into the trade recaps. So if we look the pair that we're going to look at here during the trade recaps, we're not going to repeat again. This will be the analysis. We're going to be looking at how this was forecasted, how it played out, and what we're looking at going forward. So let's start with what we have been doing in the last week. So this is CAD-yen. If you remember CAD-yen, we have been looking at this to be a three-wave structure, and we looked for this to come into the blue box and push to the upside. And this is how CAD-yen has played out. A very, very good trade setup. It has gone up in 5 waves for this wave 3 here. So just have a look at this. This was an amazing trade. So we got it from the blue box. This was the second entry here. And then this has made now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. So we're still looking for this to just get into the take profit area there. But essentially this trade has already played out. 95% of the move has already played out. So CADCHF, a similar trade at the same time. We got this one right after it corrected here, looking for it to push to the upside. This is how this CADCHF has played out. Just look at that. So it is making what looks like an expanding flat here. So we're still expecting CAD-yen to continue pushing up higher to the target. Very good trade setups on the CAD. So this was our trades of the chart of the week. This is Euro New Zealand. Before I look at Euro New Zealand, let's just go to the website and see how we looked at our chart of the week. So we have 2 charts of the week. We had 2 charts of the week in the past weeks. That was Euro New Zealand as well as the DAX. Very interesting setups. So Euro New Zealand, this is how Euro New Zealand was forecasted. So if you remember, this has been a chart of the week for the past 2 weeks actually. So the first one, we took it from here, it didn't go all the way as we expected it to, made a bounce here. So while it was making a bounce, we could see that it was actually making a corrective structure. In this case, it's an expanding triangle. This is a rare pattern to find in the market, an expanding triangle. We used to a contracting triangle, but an expanding triangle played out here. It's actually 2 scenarios or 2 alternatives that you can look at this structure. So the first one is a triangle with this A, B, C, D, E with an overshooting waves E here before we drop. So we are currently here busy correcting around these levels. We're still expecting these to play out. So another alternative here is you could look at these first ABC as a correction on its own, and this as a X, and then this one as a W. So we could have this one rather Y, a WXY structure, and then we make a move to the downside. Either way, this has played out as expected. Let's go back to that. So this was a Euro New Zealand. This was our chart of the week. You see, this was the first entry when this happened here. So we looked for this to continue pushing to the downside. Okay, so that was a Euro New Zealand. This is how Euro New Zealand is playing out now. We're currently around these levels. we're looking for this to still play out to the downside. Our indicator is still showing us further downside. Now, another one that we took from the blue box, this is a Euro Yen. Euro Yen right from the blue box, we expected it to push to the upside. So just another thing that we've added for our members, we've added an interesting tab here. We call it the blue box trade setups. As you will see while we're doing the webinars, we've got very interesting areas where we buy or sell. That is at the blue box. It is the magic blue box, we call it. So let's have a look at this blue box trade setup. One of them was let's see here. Let's see. We had Euro Yen as our blue box trade setup before the move. So this is what the members got. So we knew that we were buying Euro Yen here on the blue box trade on the blue box. All right. So that's how Euro has played out. Let's have a look at it. So from the blue box, immediately bounced from the blue box. As you can see, the trade is still in play. Exactly pinpointed entries, okay, with this strategy. Okay, so another one from the blue box was New Zealand Yen. As you can see, we focused that we're going to get this one right from the blue box, expecting it to push to the upside. This is how New Zealand Yen has played out. So what are we expecting going forward? We're still expecting New Zealand Yen to continue pushing to the upside. All right, Dow Jones, that was a new trade setup that we took from here. Okay, so this is how Dow Jones is playing out. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is already in play. It started the move to the upside. We are still bullish on the Dow, just the same way we are bullish on the S&P 500 and the other indices. Now, this was another trade chart of the week. Let's have a look at it. So if you just come to the website, this is a free chart for all. It's not only for members. Everybody who visits the website has access to this chart. This is the DAX blue box trade setup that we gave you. So if you have looked at the market, if you've been watching the market, you will see that the DAX came right here and immediately gapped to the upside, and the following day made another gap to break out of this structure. So we are still bullish the DAX. Let's have a look here at how this has played out. We're still expecting the DAX to continue pushing up higher. You can see right from the blue box, pinpointed entry. We're looking for this. This is how we take our trade setups here at trading waves. So this is the DAX. Very nice trade playing out inch perfect as expected. Here is AUDCAD. If you look at AUDCAD, we expected to get an entry here as per our strategy, looking for this to go all the way to the downside. We're currently here now, and this was a very good trade on AUDCAD. So currently we are making a structure like this. We're making a structure like this, 1, 2, 3. We are now currently here. We're expecting one leg down to complete this move. That will make 5 waves here as follows. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete the structure after making this 3-wave correction here. Took it from the blue box, another entry, so 2 trades on this one. Very interesting one on AUDCAD, played out inch perfect. US dollar CAD, we've talked about this one for months. We don't buy US dollar CAD, we just sell. And this is how US dollar CAD has played out this week. This has been the story for the last couple of months on US dollar CAD. We just have only sell setups. Now, this was CHF Yen when it was making this corrective structure right from the blue box. We expected a move to the upside. We've already made quite a significant move from the blue box at 117. We're currently at 120. Look at how perfect this is. This is 120 now, almost 200 pips on CHF Yen. Inch perfect trade from the blue box. Okay, let's go back to that. I closed it accidentally there. Let's just go back to that. CHF Audi, US dollar CAD, CHF, this is where we were on CHF. Let's look at the next one. CAD Yen, another interesting one right from the blue box. You'll see as we go that we had 2 trade setups on this one. We bounced from the blue box. We had another entry here that went up in 5 waves. So that's the one that we discussed right in the beginning. So the first trade was from the blue box. The second one was here, and we've now made 5 waves, as you'll see here on CAD Yen. Look at this. So from the blue box right here at about 85 to around this area, let's look at how CAD Yen has played out. Let's have a look here. How many pips is this? So first from the blue box at 85, currently at 89. That is a good 400 pips on CAD Yen, right? So that's CAD Yen, played out very well. Pound CAD, a very interesting one. You can see, as you've seen Previously, we've been only expecting to sell pound CAD from right here at the top. Look at this diagonal here, we dropped. Now this was a setup for the last week. We're expecting pound CAD to push to the downside. This is exactly how pound CAD has played out. We are still bearish, although it's showing a pullback here. We're still expecting pound CAD to continue lower to around these levels here as forecasted. That is a very good one. EURCHF, we are currently in the blue box. Are we going to push to the upside from the blue box? So we forecasted at this. We're going to have a blue box here on the euro. Looks like we're starting to rise from the blue box. This is where we are currently. Let's just have a look here at EURCHF and see what we're expecting going forward. We're going to look at the commodities. There's an interesting structure on silver and gold that we have updated. Let's have a look at EURCHF. Just stay on for that. Let's have a look at EURCHF. The euros, so EURCHF, we're currently bouncing from the blue box. So this is where we are on EURCHF. Looks like we are starting to make that bounce from the blue box. So that's the trade we're going to be looking at in the next week. All right, let's go through the rest. That's EURCHF. Now, the cryptocurrencies, I said we're going to talk about some interesting coins on the crypto webinar, just to show you a few here, but this is going to be discussed in detail in the crypto webinar. This was ADA. This is how ADA cruised through target. Almost 100% of all the trades that we took on the crypto market have played out. So this is ADA, and ADA is actually still in play. We're still looking for this to continue pushing to the upside. So that is ADA. Let's go through the rest here. So also on the website, for those that are only interested in the cryptocurrencies, we've got a special tab for blue box, or rather cryptocurrency trade setups. So this tab is only for cryptocurrencies, and almost all of these cryptocurrencies have played out. So just to give you an example, this was Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash has played out and has cruised through target to around these areas. So watch out for the crypto webinar immediately after this, or you can just check it out on the channel. So this is Bitcoin Cash. Just want to show you how Bitcoin Cash has played out. So we're going to go through in a bit more detail on that. Okay, so this is Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin Cash, not Bitcoin. So this is how we have focused it and has cruised through target. Now stay on for this interesting, my favorite altcoin. We're going to be discussing that shortly in the crypto webinar. Now let's go through the analysis for the week. What are we expecting going forward? Let's see some of the pairs that we have not looked at as yet. Let's have a look at US dollar pairs. We'll start with the euro. If you remember, all of you that are following our social media pages will remember that we had this forecast from right here at the top and looking for this to make a three-wave move to push to the upside. There was non-farm payrolls last week Friday. Even that did not change the structure. As forecasted, this is what happened, and the non-farm has just pushed up, has just pushed price up as expected anyway. So this is the euro, and this is what we expect the euro going forward. 1, 2, 3. We are still pushing to the upside, at least back to this level. Let's look at the current chart on euro US dollar. Let's have a look at euro US dollar. As you can see, this was the forecast. Has played out inch perfect, although did not quite go to the blue box. It's a three-wave structure. We've already broken up here. We're looking for euro to continue pushing to the upside. You can go look at this chart on our social media pages. This was forecasted right here, pinpointed here, that we're going to get a reversal on euro US dollar. DXY, exactly the same as the euro. We expected a simple, let me just take this drawings off. We expected a simple three-wave pullback and then downside. This is what we expected on the DXY. So let's have a look here on the chart. Let's go through the DXY and the rest of the pairs here. So this is the DXY. We're looking for the DXY to make a bounce and push to the downside. That's why you see the DAX has played out the way it has. Now let's look at the rest. We've already gone through US dollar CAD. We are still bearish US dollar CAD. US dollar CHF, we're looking for this. We were looking for this to make a bounce. As you can see here, has already made that bounce. We are still bearish. We're looking for that to continue lower. We have already made those three waves that we were expecting on US dollar CAD, rather US dollar CHF. As you can see here, those are the three waves that we expected. Did not go as high as we expected, but when it concluded the correction, we could see that this was over. Indicator that we use confirms the structure that we're expecting, and that's why we are still bearish the US dollar in the next coming sessions. Let's update US dollar AUD and New Zealand because there's a change in structure there. My site has been closed here, so let's just go back to that one here. Let's go to AUD US dollar as well as New Zealand, so we can just update the structure. So we look here. So this was the US dollar pairs. Let's go to AUD US dollar. So what you see here, this video here is a detailed analysis of this pair. So members have access to all these charts. That is weekly, daily, 4 and 1 hour. The video details all these charts for all these groups. So once a week, we go through the US dollar pairs and the rest of the groups as well. So this is how this is playing out. So let's go through AUD US dollar. So AUD US dollar, if you look at this, we're expecting this to go all the way to the downside, but instead this has made a corrective structure here. So we are now bullish AUD US dollar. So the structure has changed slightly. So that simply means that this was all a correction, the three waves here. We're not going to get a double as we expected with that red degree. So we will now be looking for trades to the upside. So that means the US dollar weakness resumes again, right? So that is AUD and New Zealand is exactly the same structure as you can see as well. We were expecting this to make one more down here to make a double before we get the push to the upside, but also has done this structure here, and we're looking for this one now to be bullish to the upside. Let's have a look at those current charts on AUD and New Zealand. So this is AUD, as you can see here. So we are now bullish. Any trades to the upside is coming up in 5 waves. Do not be surprised if you see a pullback back to the 50% and a move to the upside, because we've gone up in what looks like 5 waves here. So if that is 5 waves, that means we could have potentially these 3 waves to the downside, 1, 2, 3, and this making 1, 2, 3 to the upside. This is the lower degree ABC. So that is AUD and New Zealand. All right. So that's what we're going to be looking at in the next week. Bullish, bearish US dollar, and the rest of the pairs against the US dollar will be showing some strength. Right, US dollar ZAR, we had a trade set up on the US dollar ZAR that has actually failed. We're looking for this to bounce from here. We've made one more down here, but we're still expecting US dollar ZAR to make a bounce out as follows. Right, so let's have a look at the yen pairs. Let's have a look at the yen pairs. We've already gone through the CAD, so let's just have a look at the yen pairs here. So we'll look at pound yen, not pound pairs. Let's look at the, yes, here is pound yen. So the expectation with pound yen is that we're going to make a bit of a corrective structure here and then upside. So we have forecasted the 3-wave structure here. We've got to move to the upside here. So this is the correction it's already playing out. Now we're looking for pound yen to do this structure. Let's have a look at pound yen and see how this is going to play out. So let's have a look here. Pound yen, this is the structure. So that corrective structure that I'm referring to is this one. So this is a move down. This looks like 3 waves. You could have a structure like this on pound yen. So if it does this, this will be an ABC correction, and then we'll see this resume and move to the upside. That is pound yen. US dollar yen. So US dollar yen, we also forecasted this to bounce here, to make a bounce from the blue box. This was our blue box here on US dollar yen. We've made a bounce, and this is now coming down. But what the structure looks like now, it doesn't look like we're going to go all the way as yet. We have made a move here in 3 waves on US dollar yen. So we're looking for this. We have a pullback here. So we could get another 3 waves here. So this structure could be a WXY corrective structure to the downside. And then we have a structure like this. But this is just forecast. Let's wait for this to give us more data, because we can then have a structure like this on US dollar yen. Right. So Euro and CHF, we've already gone through this during trade setups and the rest of the yen pairs. So AUD yen, this is another one that we took from the blue box. So if we let's have a look here at AUD yen. We took it right here from the blue box. You've already seen New Zealand yen from the blue box. This was our blue box area. We are still bullish here, looking for AUD yen to continue pushing to the upside. Now, let's look at the commodities. As I said, gold and silver have got interesting structures that we have updated. Let's have a look here now on silver and gold. Let's look at the bigger structure. We're currently on the 4-hour. Let me go to the daily. I want to start with gold. So let's go to the daily chart on silver and gold. Starting with gold, Very interesting structures. We actually missed this as it was playing out. So this is gold. So gold, let me go to the weekly actually. See what the next move is going to be on gold. So gold on the weekly showing confirmation that the move to the upside has resumed. If you remember what we were looking at on gold, we've been looking at this structure. Why have we been in this corrective structure? We've been detailing this corrective structure because we knew that that structure was going to be our wave 4. This is wave 2. This is wave 3. So we're currently in wave 4 on gold here. Now we're looking for these to complete our wave 5. Right. So as this corrective structure was playing out, we're still expecting one more down. So the idea is to get the end of the correction and for the indicator to confirm that move. So let's go to the daily and see how this is playing out. So a simple 3-wave structure here on wave 4. Those who understand the guideline of alternation. So if you look at this here, we were impulsive. This wave 2 was sideways. This wave 4 was sharp. So that's to be expected. You could have this one as a flat and this one as a sharp zigzag move. Now we're looking for this on gold. The move to the upside has resumed. Let's have a look at the daily chart. So let's have a look here. So how did we miss the current move on gold? We missed it because we were still expecting gold to play out as follows. This as a 3-wave and this one to give us this move here to the downside. So we're still expecting one more down as follows. So these are 3 waves to the downside, 1, 2, 3 down here, 1, 2, 3 up here. So we're still looking at this to be 1, 2, and 1 more down. That's fine. Just because we've missed this move it's not really a big issue. We are still going to get moves to the upside because now the trend to the upside has been confirmed. So we are only going to look for bullish moves to the upside. So what is the expectation going forward? So now that means that this has now ended in 3 waves. So these are all the 3 waves in gold. And what's interesting here is that looks like we are going up in what looks like 5 waves here on gold. So this move to the upside that I will show you in green has gone up in 5 waves. So that means we are going to get a pullback. So that pullback is what we are going to trade on gold, at least back to the previous highs at about 2,100 on gold. And the structure that we'll have there is a WXY corrective structure on gold like that. We should have seen that gold had completed this move on silver, but I'll show you how we missed the structure as well. But that happens, but we at least know why that has happened. Now look at this silver structure. So let's look at how we were looking at silver, what we were expecting from silver. Very interesting structures. So silver, this was the expectation. We were looking at this as a move to the downside in 3 waves, and this is a move to the upside in 3 waves, and we're looking for this to come and retest this low here. This is why we expected both silver and gold to continue lower at around 22 before a push to the upside. But what we missed was this interesting structure. That was actually not a 3-wave structure, but a diagonal. Now, if this is a diagonal that look at this, it's a textbook diagonal, inch perfect here with clear 5 waves. So this is a move up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Admittedly, we missed that. So we had this pullback here in 3 waves. Look at this here. So we had a move to the upside, pulls back in 3 waves. So that means that this ABC structure here had completed, but we didn't see that because a diagonal looks a bit corrective here when it starts. So what we are seeing here is a move here in 1 and a pullback here in 2, and we are looking at this to now start continuing here for another move to the upside for the 3rd wave. Okay, so that is the diagonal, looking very interesting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making this bigger wave 1 here, pull back in 2. Now we're looking for continuation to the upside. Now, just like gold, we've already started a move to the upside. We are going to look for this, and then we'll look for this to go to new highs above 30 here on silver. Very interesting structures. Let's see here. What are we expecting in the lower degrees? Let's look at the 4-hour. Okay, so we're still pushing up higher. We've made this move up. Also looks like a 5-wave move. A pullback is imminent so that we can then get a move back to around the 30s on silver. Very interesting structures. I'm going to go straight to Brent crude. Brent crude, also a very interesting structure. If you remember, is similar to silver. We were looking for this to be a correction in 3 waves so that we can get one more down and then upside. But this has actually also made a very nice diagonal textbook, inch perfect, even with the wave 5 pushing to the upside here, pushing a little bit higher than the upper boundary. That's okay. We call that an overthrow or an overshoot. Different terminology for the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal. We detailed this when we were still here at the top in our live trading room, expecting this to make a 3-wave pullback and then upside. So this is what we will trade on oil. Is it ready to push up higher from current levels? I expect it to at least come back to around this level. Then we will see new highs on oil again. So that is the structure that we're going to be looking at. But on the 4-hour, looks like we may get a bit of a push to the upside, but I don't really see the momentum on the indicator. So we can have this one here, and then we can still get that 3 waves that we're expecting before we move to the upside. That's how we're looking at the commodities. Pound CAD. So pound CAD, you've already seen this one from here with the trade setups. We took this one here right at the top here. So we are still bearish on pound CAD. Right. Pound AUD. I want you to look at pound AUD and how we looked at pound AUD a couple of weeks back. Let's have a look here on the video from the 5th of April. You can actually go to any video prior to this move to the downside. So any video prior to this here, this is where we forecasted that we're going to get the reversal on pound AUD. So any video before the 31st of March, you'll see that it was detailing that we are going to get a blue box reversal here at this level on pound AUD. So if I just play a few seconds, it's easier because we've got timestamps on all these videos. So if you just go to that video, go to the pound AUD timestamp and see how we've been forecasting pound AUD. That's how we focus with pound AUD, and that's the video from the 5th to the 9th of April. Let's have a look here. So this was pound AUD a couple of weeks back. The S keeps popping up here. Let's just wait 2 seconds, and this one pushes up here. Right, so that's pound AUD. See how we focus with pound AUD. Look at that 3-wave structure that I was detailing there a couple of weeks back. So if you've been watching, we have already detailed that we have made a reversal from the blue box, and we are now expecting that move to the downside. That was the forecast from the 5th of April. Now, how is that playing out? So that WXY structure that you see is not in hindsight. So we had focused that move. Similarly, I want you to see pound New Zealand as well, exactly the same, because they've played out exactly the same. So I want to look at them both at the same time. Look at that. A textbook example of a WXY structure. You may also want to refer on our video, how to trade WXY or WXYXZ like a pro. Search the video on our channel. Very interesting. You can learn something there. All right, so that's how we looked at those two pairs. Let me just stop that video and then we continue. So that's how we looked at pound New Zealand and pound AUD. Let's have a look at those two pairs. Let's look at the pound pairs. So pound AUD. This is a chart from the latest chart. So we're expecting pound AUD to come here at the blue box and make a push to the downside. How has that played out? Look at this here on the 4-hour. We made a move to the upside here as follows: 1, 2, 3. This is where we expected this to continue to the downside. Now, if you look at pound New Zealand as well, we're looking for this one to go onto the blue box here at this level. So we had the blue box here on pound New Zealand. If you remember, we've got a trades chart of the week on Euro New Zealand. That's why we're looking for pound to continue lower here. So it made a flat here, same way that Euro New Zealand made a flat. Okay, so those are the Forex pairs. Let's look at the rest of the Euro pairs. Euro New Zealand, we've already looked at that. EURCAD, just expect this to continue to the downside. So EURCAD, if we just go to the 4-hour, our trade setup here, let's just see here. We've made a 3-wave pullback here. 5 waves up, 3 waves back, and 5 waves up. So since then, we've now made what looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. We still have 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is an internal structure. Let me switch off here so you can see the structure and why we will still be bearish US dollar, rather EURCAD. 1, 2, 3. This is the internal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've completed this wave 3 here. We're expecting this to make one move to the downside here in wave 5. Those are the Forex pairs under the These are the crosses now. So if you we've already gone through AUDCAD on the trade setups. New Zealand CAD still pushing to the downside, has Australia just made this continuation pattern here, 1, 2, 3. We're looking for this to continue lower. All right, so CADCHF was our trade setup. We've already gone through that. Now on the indices, nothing changes. You've seen our setup on the Dow. Nothing changes. We've been saying the same thing for the last couple of months since the beginning of the year, that we are only bullish every time we get these setups. So we've got another one here on the S&P 500. We are still going to expect a continuation to the upside. The Dow Jones Industrial, you saw the trade setup, so we're still bullish there as well. DAX, you saw the blue box trade setup, chart of the week, given free to everyone there. Right, so these are the trade setups for the week. Stay on for the crypto webinar immediately after this. You can check it out on our channel. If you like what you do, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and also that alert button so that you can get a notification next time we upload the video. Drop your comments. We appreciate your feedback as well, and like the videos as well. Thank you very much for watching. Trade responsibly. Bye-bye.